Hey guys, and welcome to our statistics class. I wanted to take a minute and communicate to you via YouTube. One of the ways that we can communicate through a link I could provide on Edmodo. I'll get to Edmodo in a minute. In this video, I hope to clearly communicate some of the class expectations, the majority of them, how to log into Edmodo, and expose you to the course syllabus. So without further ado, let's talk about our course expectations. Number one, being respectful. It's pretty simple. This is a senior level class. I don't think we're going to have any problems at all. But when I talk about respect, it covers a broad spectrum. One of my number one hot buttons is to just be on time. Yes, folks, starting on time and ending on time is a responsibility for both of us. There's plenty of time to get from class to class. And when you come late, it's not only taking time away from your education, but it's also disrupting the whole class, and that's just not nice. Being respectful covers throwing things away in the proper receptacles, leaving the room in a way that you found it, and just in generally speaking, being nice. Another subtopic under being respectful is not talking while others are talking. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about when your classmates are talking. We all stand to learn a great deal from one another, myself included. Year after year, I learn a lot from my students, and I hope that they learn a lot from me. But nothing can be learned if we're constantly having sidebar conversations. So let's just not do that. If you have something you'd like to add, raise your hand. I'm more than willing to give you the time to add to the conversation. Moving right along, let's be responsible. Mostly in terms of being responsible, you got to do the work, all right? And with that, it's twofold: homework and classwork. Mathematics classes are best conquered if you actually do the work. It's not a passive program. It's not just enough to take part in the conversation. You got to do the footwork, the leg work, the handwork. Being responsible, making sure you know the assignments, following through, that's doing the work. That's taking responsibility for your education. Responsibility for your education is twofold. It falls on me, and a majority of it, I believe, falls on you. It doesn't work if I'm the only one who comes to class ready to work every day. Lastly, seek assistance. Mostly, what I'm talking about is asking questions. If you have questions, ask them. Ask them during class, ask them during group time, ask them via email, ask them after school. Ask them. I think the most important time to ask questions is right when the confusion happens. Usually, that's going to be in class. Don't hesitate. It's super important. It's part of your responsibility to ask questions. I don't know when you're lost. Only you do. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks about your question. Just get it out there. I'm sure somebody else is thinking along the same lines. Edmodo. What is it and how do I join? First, what it is our major means of communication, mostly from me to you. Another method of communication for you to me, and preferred, is to use my email. Take a minute, write down my email right now. Put it somewhere permanent. Getting back to Edmodo, you're going to go to edmodo.com, and you are going to sign in as a student. If you already have a login from past years, then you're all set. You can use that, and all you need is a group code. If not, select I'm a student, and you'll be directed to this page. Here, you'll need the group code. Let me give you the group code exclusive to our Stats LE class. It is 7MSUFJ, right here. Then put a username that's easy for you to remember, and also a password that's easy for you to remember. You should probably write that down somewhere permanent, as losing that is not an acceptable excuse for not completing work or not receiving information that I've sent to you via Edmodo. Although the email here says optional, it's not optional. Put the email in there, an email that you check regularly or at least semi-regularly. I'll explain more in a minute. Your first name, your last name, and of course you'll obviously have to agree to the terms. Once you're successfully logged in the upper right hand section there's a little drop down menu that's listed as Me. When that drops down, we're going to choose Settings. Once you choose the Settings button, that directs you to Part 2. Once you're in Part 2, I want you to open up the email and text updates, which brings us to this screen, which is probably the most critical part of signing up. This area right here is going to determine how I communicate to you. I think 99% of students would be preferred to be alerted by text message. Well, I find that funny that I quoted 99%. I really have no research for that number. It's based on pure opinion. Anyway, phone number, if you choose text message, your cell number needs to go there, and then you need to tell Edmodo what your phone provider is, or who your phone provider is. If it's Verizon, then choose Verizon and AT&T, yada yada yada. When I clicked this, I never realized there was so many providers. Leave all of these checks just checked off like that. Hit Save Updates, and that's that. Every time I post an assignment or a communication, Edmodo will give a push notification to you. Those push notifications are those automatic emails and texts that you already get and perhaps may or may not be so fond of. The nice thing is this eliminates a lot of the writing that you have to do. So even though I still suggest writing the homework assignments, every time I post something, you'll be all set. If we run into one of those class days where I push right until the bell, no need to panic to write something down. I will take responsibility and communicate to you regularly through Edmodo. This comes with a bit of a disclaimer though. I will give you little hints and whatnot about quizzes, but the bottom line is coming to class and telling me that you didn't see the Edmodo post is simply not acceptable. You're either going to have to select the best method for the push notification or just be responsible enough to check Edmodo on a regular basis. Either way, the responsibility of this piece is on you. In wrapping this up, again, I'd like to welcome you to our statistics class, and I hope that I've provided some clear class expectations for you, showed you, if you didn't already know, how to log into Edmodo and get your settings correct. And once you log into Edmodo successfully, have all your settings squared away, you'll notice that your first post is already there for you, and it's our course syllabus. Open up the course syllabus, print that out, bring it to our next class, and I'll give you extra credit on your very first quiz. Good luck, and I look forward to a great year.